So for me, the term mental health, and I think this is why some of the stigma is so strong, is that the term mental health is used whether we're talking about someone who is experiencing hallucinations and hearing voices and all kinds of stuff, serious mental health challenges in the true essence of the word and term mental health. And we're using that same word just to talk about life's hard right now, going through a divorce and feeling maybe a little bit of depression, going through this ongoing COVID reality. They got a new term, was it triple pandemic, whatever. So maybe you're anxious about getting sick and dying, uh maybe feel
Well, relationships are hard.
yeah,
That's
feeling grief
the ad,
from
back to the ad. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
it's
so
exactly what,
so I
yeah.
don't like that we're using the same term
Yeah.
for such a wide spectrum of realities, because I think that's one of the reasons why the stigma is so real. Because, and we shouldn't be judging anyone, but let's just be real. Folks are looking at, you think mental health, you think about the person that you see on the corner talking to themselves and blah blah blah, and you're like, oh my god, that's mental health, and that ain't me. And so, you know going back to when we first started Joy Society, the reason we started it was to focus on the worried well and to say, what happens when you need or could use, because maybe the word need is a little stretch. It would be helpful to be around others who you can relate to. It would be helpful to just be able to bounce some ideas off. It would be helpful to vent. It would be helpful to learn some strategies and have some education about some concepts so that you can better maneuver your life and perhaps some of the challenges you're facing. So we said we wanted to create something for who we titled The Worried Well. So there's a lot of fun. If you're alive, you're probably stressing about something. Or you hit a good spot and then you'll be stressing here in the next couple months because life stays serving us, right? And so we came up with this idea of serving professionals, leaders, and business owners, oftentimes who are not struggling with severe mental health, right? In the essence of the original word and term mental health, but are dealing with life, are dealing with career stressors, are dealing with relational stressors, are dealing with parenting stressors, are dealing with stressors of aging parents. But don't necessarily need to go through the process of therapy, because as therapists, what we know is day one, you getting ready to get interviewed for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. We're gonna tell all your you're gonna tell your whole life, and then we have to diagnose you because insurance won't pay for it. So if therapists are real, sometimes we come up with the closest thing we can because you want to get help and we need a diagnosis for that. And so we take you down the same journey as someone who's dealing with something way more severe and is really more clinical in nature. And so that being said, I would like to just throw out there to our listeners to consider the spectrum of life challenges and all that may come with it, right? So on the zero end, you living your best life, no stress, you ain't never been through nothing, glory, sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies. Please DM me if that's how you're living. Close to that,
Most
but
people.
life still hits, right? And then moving into the middle, again, it's more that worried well. You're alive. You're in a relationship with the world in some way, shape, or form. You got a boo thing. You got a husband, a wife, a partner. You got children. You got aging parents. You got your stuff. You got parents coming for you about getting pregnant because you need a baby. They need a baby. They want a grandbaby, whatever, right? And so you're maneuvering. Or you probably have some historical experiences that kind of creep up in your mind. You're thinking about what they did to you when you were 8, or the way your mama treated you when you were 6, or the fact that your dad left and never came back when you were 10, or your parents divorced at 13, and you're starting to realize there's some connection between those experiences and where you are now, but you're still pretty much maintaining. Then on the furthest end of the spectrum, right, you've got some severe stuff, potentially uncurable, right? It's truly diagnoses of the type that there it's gonna be there. Whereas in the middle, we work with you, you work through some things kind of dissipate, you go forth and be great.